The phone wouldn't stop ringing. I stood in my wedding dress in the back room of the small chapel, veil already pinned, bouquet of white roses shaking in my hands. It was 2:17 p.m. on June 17, 2023. My ceremony was supposed to start at 2:30. Emily. Honey, we're so sorry, my mother's voice said when I finally answered. She sounded breathless. Lauren's engagement party ran long and the caterers messed up the timing. Your father and I just can't make it in time. We'll see the photos. I didn't say anything. I just ended the call. My bridesmaid Sarah touched my arm. There. Not coming? I shook my head once. I looked at myself in the mirror, the dress I paid for myself. The venue David and I saved for 2 years. The man waiting at the end of the aisle who had never once made me feel second best. I walked down that aisle alone. No father on my arm. No mother dabbing her eyes in the front row. Just me and the man who chose me every single day. David waited with steady eyes. When I reached him, he took both my hands and whispered, "We're enough. We've always been." Enough. The reception was small. 30 people who actually showed up. We danced. We cut the cake. We laughed like people who refused to let poison ruin their day. But every time I looked at the empty seats where my family should have been, something inside me cracked a little deeper. That night in our hotel room, I cried for exactly 12 minutes. Then I stopped. I told David I'm not giving them any more of me. He held me and said nothing. He just rubbed my back in slow circles the way he always did. 3 months later, everything changed. But I need to take you back first, because this story doesn't start at the wedding. It started years earlier when my parents made it very clear who the golden child was. My sister Lauren is 2 years younger. From the time we were kids in our hometown of Maple Ridge, Oregon, everything revolved around her. She was the cheerleader. She was the homecoming queen. She was the one who got the new car on her 16th birthday while I drove our old Honda with 180,000 miles. I was the responsible one. The one who got straight A's, worked 2 jobs in high school, and paid for my own community college classes. Lauren failed out of her first semester, and my parents threw her a "you'll figure it out" party with a $3,000 banner. I met David in 2020 at a mutual friend's backyard barbecue.
He was a structural engineer who had just moved to Portland.
For a bridge restoration project. Tall, quiet, the kind of man who listens more than he speaks. On our 3rd date, he told me his parents had passed away when he was 21. He understood what it felt like to build your own family. We moved in together after 8 months. My parents barely acknowledged him. "He seems nice," my mother would say, like she was commenting on the weather. Lauren, on the other hand, dated a string of guys who all had one thing in common. They were flashy. The latest one was Kyle, a so-called entrepreneur who talked about big deals and private jets, but never seemed to have a real job. My parents loved him. They loved the idea of him. In February 2023, Lauren announced her engagement. Kyle proposed with a 4-carat ring at a rooftop restaurant in downtown Portland. The party was scheduled for the same weekend as our wedding. My parents didn't even pretend to be conflicted. "We'll celebrate both," my father said on the phone too. Weeks before. "But Lauren only gets engaged once, Emily. You understand." I understood perfectly. David wanted to confront them. I told him no, let them show who they are. So the wedding day came and went with empty chairs. My aunt from Seattle came. A few cousins. David's old college roommate flew in from Chicago. That was our side. 2 weeks after the wedding, my mother called. "The photos look beautiful, honey. We're so happy for you." She didn't mention missing it. She spent 20 minutes talking about how Lauren's engagement party had gone viral on local social media because Kyle rented a fountain that shot champagne. I hung up and blocked her number for 3 days. Life moved on. David went back to his project at the Columbia River Bridge. I kept working as a physical therapist at the Children's Hospital. We bought a small house in a quiet neighborhood, with a backyard big enough for the dog we planned to adopt. Then, on September 12th, 2023, my phone started blowing up again. This time it wasn't my family. It was Sarah sending me link after link. "Emily, you need to see this." I opened the first article. Local engineer exposes massive corruption in bridge construction bid. David's face was on the front page of the Portland Tribune, then on KGW News. Then on national feeds by evening. The story was bigger than I could have imagined. For months, David had been quietly gathering evidence. The construction company bidding on the major bridge repair had been cutting corners on materials and paying off inspectors. One of the silent partners in that company, Kyle's uncle. And my father had done some consulting work for them. Small contracts, but enough to be compromised. David hadn't told me any of this. He said later he didn't want to bring that darkness into our new marriage until he had ironclad proof. The news report showed footage of David in a press conference. Calm, professional, reading prepared statements with numbers, dates, and emails. He looked like the man I married. Steady, honest, unstoppable when something was wrong. My phone rang. My mother. I answered on the fourth ring. Emily, have you seen the news? This is serious. Your father could lose everything. You need to talk to David. Make him stop this. I laughed. It wasn't a happy sound. Asterisk. Mom, you missed my wedding because of Lauren's party. And now you want me to make my husband kill a story that could save lives because it might embarrass Dad? She started crying. Real tears or performance tears, I couldn't tell anymore. Your sister is devastated. Kyle's family is pulling away. This is destroying her life. I put the phone on speaker and started making dinner. Chopped vegetables. While she talked, the knife made steady, rhythmic sounds. Lauren made her choices, I said, and you made yours on June 17th. She tried guilt. She tried anger. She tried the "we're still family" line. I let her finish. Then I said, you chose the daughter who needed the spotlight. I chose the man who chooses me. We're done here. I hung up. That night, David came home late. He looked exhausted. But there was something clear in his eyes. Like a weight had lifted. I should have told you sooner, he said. I walked over and hugged him. You protected us. Now we deal with the fallout together. The next weeks were chaos. My parents showed up at our house unannounced. My father looked smaller than I remembered. He stood on the porch in the rain and asked if we could work something out. David stepped outside and closed the door behind him. I watched through the window. I couldn't hear everything, but I saw my father's face go through several colors. Whatever David said, my father left without coming inside. Lauren texted me 17 times in one day. Long paragraphs about how I was ruining her future. How Kyle might leave her now that the family money was in jeopardy. How I was always jealous of her. I screenshotted the messages and sent them to David. He read them in silence, then put my phone down and said, she's scared. People like that always lash out when the mirror finally shows them. My aunt from Seattle called. She had been at the wedding. She told me my mother had actually left the engagement party early, but then decided to stay because Lauren was so upset about the attention shifting. They had chosen to stay. I started seeing a therapist. Not because I was broken, but because I wanted to make sure I didn't carry their poison into my marriage. David's whistleblowing led to investigations. 3 people were arrested. The construction company lost the bid. The bridge project would be safer because of him. In late October, my parents tried one more time. They invited us to a family dinner at their house. Neutral ground, they said. Asterisk, we drove there together. David held my hand the whole way. When we walked in, Lauren was already there with Kyle. She looked like she hadn't slept. Kyle wouldn't meet my eyes. My mother had made my favorite pot roast. Like that could fix everything. We sat down. The silence was heavy. My father cleared his throat. We made mistakes. We see that now. I waited. Asterisk. We should have been at your wedding. You're our daughter too. Lauren started crying. I didn't know it would turn out like this. I looked at each of them. Really looked. You didn't miss my wedding because of scheduling? I said. My voice was steady. You missed it because in your minds Lauren's moment was more important. That's who you are. And I'm done pretending it doesn't hurt. My mother reached for my hand. I pulled it back. David spoke then. Emily has been more gracious than any of you deserve. We're here because she wanted closure. not reconciliation on your terms. My father tried to talk about money, about how the scandal was costing them, about how they might lose the house. I stood up. Asterisk. We're leaving. Don't contact us unless it's to genuinely apologize without asking for anything, and even then I might not answer. We walked out. David opened the car door for me like he always did. On the drive home, I rolled the window down and let the cold Oregon air hit my face. For the first time in months, the knot in my chest felt looser. Asterisk. In the following months, some things changed. My aunt started visiting more. A couple cousins reached out. Small Bridges. Lauren and Kyle broke up in December. She moved back home. My parents posted family photos on Facebook with just the three of them. I saw them once and felt nothing. Not anger, not sadness, just distance. David and I adopted a rescue dog named Scout in January. We planted a garden in spring. We started planning a trip to the coast for our first anniversary. One evening in April, I was sitting on the back porch watching Scout chase fireflies. David brought me a glass of wine and sat beside me. You know, he said, the day of the wedding when you walked down that aisle alone, I was so proud of you. Still am. I leaned my head on his shoulder. I used to think family was blood. I told him, now I know it's choice. He kissed the top of my head. We sat there as the sky turned dark. Two people who chose each other when others didn't. Two people who built something real. And somewhere in Maple Ridge, my parents and sister were dealing with the consequences of their choices. I didn't need to see it to know it. I had everything. I needed right here. Asterisk. The last thing I want to say is this. If your family chooses someone else on your most important day, believe them. Then go build the life they never thought you deserved. With people who show up, what's the hardest choice you ever had to make with your own family? Tell me in the comments. I read every single comment. Everyone.